Hey, how's it going? My name is Catie Brannon. This is Tea Time True Crime with Catie. Last month, I did the dark side of beauty for the dark content, and this month, I'm going to deep dive into a psychopath. I don't know if I should get his book. He didn't write it, don't worry, but it has every single one of his blog posts, and, the author really tried to deep dive in the family. The weird thing is, though, when I try to look up information about the beginning of this psychopath's family, you don't really find much. The only thing you find is what exactly this person says about them in the blog. So we honestly really don't know the truth. The only thing we know is the horrible outcome and that people lost their lives because of this guy being single for so many years. Yeah. It's wild. I honestly never heard of this case. I stumbled upon this case, and if you know how I do, I got chills throughout my whole body. So I knew this was the case I was supposed to be working on. Especially when I was going through this case and I went into a different kind of rabbit hole, weird community, just a different kind of community. I don't want to upset anybody, but I'm just saying it was like, whoa, you learn something new every day. So this podcast is going to be a little different. I actually have some notes by Violet Turner. She has theories about this case. And I know I'm going to stop gatekeeping, okay? But I'm going to be talking about George Sedini. Yeah. If you don't know who George Sedini is, George Sedini, a lot of podcasters and media people call him the incel, perhaps the first incel killer. Now, if you know that one of my podcasts, I did talk about an incel. Incel stands for involuntary celibate. Involuntary celibate. These guys really want the nookie, and it's just not happening. It could be mental problems, or they could just blame the opposite sex. It's all their fault, right? Yeah, like I said, guys, this is a lot. But it's fascinating because there's a lot of people in a certain community that kind of worship George about this, which I find terrifying. And at the end of the podcast, I'm going to be talking about a product that I really, really love. And the hint is that you can light it on fire. So you probably know what it is, but definitely stick around for that. It's pretty awesome. I'll definitely link her Instagram at the end. This podcast, I gathered a few videos, so we're going to play during the podcast. The first video I'm going to play is George Sedini was a YouTuber. Yeah, he actually was a YouTuber in the early 2000s. So you're going to feel a vibe or something about him. And I'm telling you, this guy, even though he was a total psychopath, he was the kind of psychopath that was hidden in plain sight. Yeah. He did not have, like when normal psychopaths, they kill animals and torture and they you can tell there's something wrong. Neighbors wanted to explain him, George, as a little off. But yet there has been situations where he was caring. Like a neighbor had surgery and George went over to visit them to see how they were doing. Usually not psychopathic behavior. He got promoted at his job. He had a very good job. He had a very nice home. He was on the cleanliness side, which, no worries. A little bit of clutter. I feel like we all are clutter people sometimes because we live in the house. But he wasn't a hoarder by any means. But I'll play the video, and I want to know what you think. What kind of vibe do you get off this guy? Do you get psychopathic killer off this vibe?
Long drive in the car, listen to some music, daydream, or just do some mundane task around the house that really doesn't need to be done, that's not too important. And there you go, one more day, and one more day turns into one more year. Now, RDS says that I have approximately maybe 15 more years to be successful at this. And when I heard that, I wanted to continue immediately to start moving on this. I didn't realize I had that much time. So my objective is to be real and to learn to be emotional and to be able to emotionally connect with people. Because when I'm 10 to 20 years older, than she is, she has to feel good about this thing. And the only way around that, is to work on this, and perhaps STEM exercises or forgiveness exercises as per Hay or whatever else. I'm going to post this and see what comes back.
Okay. I feel like he's one of those awkward guys, he's really just trying to, introduce himself. But I don't know. I feel like something empty from him. Like, I don't know what kind of energy you picked up, but I definitely felt like something was missing. Besides a partner, of course. Something was definitely missing. I think he was trying to, I don't know. In the next video I'm going to show is he's definitely trying to overcompensate, because he is going to flash all his luxuries around. And honestly, when he passed away, he had hundreds and thousands of dollars, which a lot of men honestly can't believe, because he was like, it had to be absolutely him, because with the money that he had, he could have traveled to another country and met other people. Me, where my head goes is that man needed therapy. He did not need no pickup artist books or, misogynistic books, because I feel like his views got way, way worse. They got ridiculously worse. But yeah, I'm going to play the video of him showing us his house. Yeah, I don't know why women want to see his house, because, I don't know. I know women that, I guess that was kind of a partner he's trying to attract, but hopefully I'm not the only one here, but I feel like partners are trying to want someone in their life to make them better, to improve, to make them laugh, to have a personality, because I hate to break it to you guys, but looks fade. They don't last forever, so I don't understand where this, I'm so bad looking, I can't be happy kind of thing, but I'll play the video. Here we go.
This is a 2-bedroom brick ranch, conveniently located. My car is an '07 Altima. I paid $79,000 for this in 1996. That's considered a lot, believe it or not. Okay, we're approaching the door. Open it up. Oh, someone left it unlocked. That's not good. Inside, okay. Here's my big screen TV. 32-inch. It's my computer. Let me pan out a little bit. Computer is connected to the stereo, which I listen to my MP3s and everything else. Pan to the other side. Speakers on each side are large. They double as end tables. To the dining room. I just bought this. Dining room set. Rug. Okay. Little hallway. 2 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms. To the right is my bedroom. Extra computer here. They're networked. I'll show you the Cat 5 connections downstairs. Okay, it looks pretty clean. I'm sure she'll be impressed. Now this back bedroom I use just for storage. A lot of junk. Okay, I like here, you just come out here, there's a room with a view. My backyard and everything. Okay, now let's go down the cellar. I fixed it up. It was unfinished when I bought the house.
See, I just feel like, he was trying to crack a joke in the beginning, like, oh, somebody left, unlocked the door. It's like, and then he wanted to take us to a cellar, which I thought would be a very creepy cellar, but it wasn't. It was just like a whole bunch of junk and stuff, like down in the cellar. So he did this video because he joined a men's group. It's like a pickup artist group. And I haven't read the book. It's just very interesting because he really believes that women choose for looks. And it's interesting because women, hi, I'm a woman, and we women think that too. Like, we do. Some guys can be very, very shallow, and I feel like girls can be that way too. So maybe he was just, well, first of all, I don't blame women at all. I feel that we are very big on intuition. Whether you are spiritual, religious, it doesn't matter. Women have intuition. It is like our shield. It is one of our superpowers. And him saying that he got rejected by 30 million women, which I think is what, like 30 million, really, dude? What I think is that when he tried to put himself out there, yes, women may have, turned him down, but at the same time, did he really try? Well, I did look into it. I did. Well, first off, we have to know when he was born, right? He was born September 30th, 1960. Yes, that makes him a Libra. And yes, it's ironic because Libra men are usually the Lotharios, the kind of womanizers. They're flaky and decisive. And that is just like a very stereotypical Libra. I'm just, reading one of the mainstream descriptions of a Libra, even though we all know that's not how you really describe a Libra. I mean, my Mercury and Venus is in Libra, so I'm very big on civil, what I'm saying? Like what's right and what's wrong and all that. But yeah, him being a Libra, the most cases, Libra men are gorgeous and they're Lotharios, and he's not. Now, I'm not saying like, oh my God, this guy is hideous. Like, what in the hell? No. But I believe like how he carries himself, like unsure, and he tries to crack a joke. But I'm not a doctor. I mean, I believe that he just needed a friend. I mean, he had friends apparently, but they weren't long lasting. The main thing he needed was therapy. And what's insane is I'm going to read a few of the blog posts. I'll read different ones because I read, people read the same ones, which I get because that definitely does dive into George's psyche. But at the same time, it's like, okay, this guy is slowly losing reality. We can totally see it in the blog. He's been blogging for 9 months. Everybody can see it. Why didn't anyone do anything? Why didn't anyone see it? I know. It's tragic because I do believe all this could have been prevented. I do. Yeah. A situation like this in the next video.
The first officers arrived on the scene, did the best they could by securing the scene, and their first thought was to get aid to the people who needed aid, which was the right thing to do.
I was playing a basketball game. Yeah, I was in the middle of a basketball game and heard gunshots, seen kids run in the gym. And next thing I know, everybody's saying, run, run. And I seen 2 victims, 2 ladies that was wounded, trying to escape. Me and my buddy picked them up and took them outside as far as the way we could. She just kept repeating over and over, he's going to kill me, he's going to kill me. And the time I ran about 50 yards with her, set her down before the IMSA to get there, she pretty much went out.
Yeah, that is absolutely tragic. I can't imagine as being a man or a woman that you were in the gym and that is your time. Like people that go to the gym, they tend to go the same time. You tend to build relationships with the people there, and then you're just trying to have a healthy outlet, and all of a sudden this madman comes out of nowhere dressed in black. Like he wore like a he wore exercise gear, but they were black, all black. And he had that, like, I'm not sure it was like some kind of headband, and he just walked around with a gym bag. But people didn't realize there were 3 handguns and like over 150 counts of ammunition. So yeah, it happened like that fast. It was on a Tuesday in August 2009, and it was, I can't imagine. It's just, things are not like making sense to me. I've read, you guys, that it took 15 seconds to turn the lights off. So I'm guessing he just put his hand up and then just like pressed the light, right? Yeah, don't mind me. I cut my finger before this video. I'm fine. Everything is fine. It's okay. I know, with a cat, like the cat lid. I know, I just wasn't paying attention. I was like doing dishes and I was like, okay, hungry, and then just like blood was squirting everywhere and I was like, oh no. And I wrapped it twice, but that sucker is still bleeding. Like, it's like, woo, want to do a blood oath? No, I'm just messing. So I digress. So it takes 15 seconds for him to turn off the lights in the gym. What is going on in the gym at this time is, I read there is 22 people, perhaps 30 people, doing a Latin aerobics class downstairs. All women, right? Upstairs, there are men. So all in all, on a Tuesday, there is 70 people in the gym. So you have him that walks up there, which it's not that random. He actually did go to that gym. But what is random is that he did not know the women in that aerobics class. He may have seen them, right? But he never really talked to them. So next thing he does is he turns the lights off, grabs the gun, and just starts shooting. And then, yes, it's like a 35 and a 45, and they're handguns. It's not a machine gun, but it's like a lot in a magazine. It's like 30 in a like 30 bullets in a round. I'm like, that is a lot of bullets in that magazine. Even though he had 150 ammo left, before he could like shoot more, because he shot the first time, bang, 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 in the dark, may I mind you. So I cannot imagine the absolute chaos in that room. I can't. There was first witness accounts that jumped behind the yoga mats that were wrapped up really tightly, and it saved her life because bullet holes were in that yoga mat and it did not get her. There were people that actually went in the supply room and like buried themselves really quick. Now you have to understand, this attack was like 2 minutes. It was that quick, but it was still very devastating that it would change the trajectory of everyone's life in that gym. So he shot with the first handgun, bang, bang, we don't have to do the, they said he shot like 40 times. And then after that, he got another gun out of his pocket and then took his own life. But again, in the gym bag, he had a couple messages in there, a couple notes. I wouldn't say a manifesto, but in his blog, he was pretty cocky, saying, you can publish those notes if you want to. I won't be embarrassed because I will be dead. Yeah, when I say he literally confessed before this event happened on blogs and nobody saw anything, that's just like, this could have been prevented. And sadly, not only that, you would think he was just like a straight up psychopath, like F you women, bang, bang, bang. When you read the blogs, which it's by WikiLeaks, I don't know if they have all of it because a lot of things have been taken down. But on WikiLeaks, they have the blog posts, and you can read all of them. In the blog post, me and Violet Turner believe that he didn't want it to happen. No, he did not want the massacre to happen. He actually was waiting for someone to save him in a way. He wanted someone to see the blog to stop him. And I'm thinking it didn't have to be a woman. I think it could have just been a friend. I know, it's absolutely heartbreaking. And nobody stopped him. No. 3 amazing women lost their lives. And it decimated a community. And it was just terrible. I can't imagine. It's like I love the movies. I'm a huge movie buff. Love movie theaters. Indie movies are my jam. Now, when I heard about The Dark Knight Rises and the also train wreck movie, like when that shooter came in and shot people in the theater, it literally ruined the innocence for me. Like, I was so upset. Even though it didn't happen where I was, it doesn't matter. Like, if you're love working out, if you're at the gym, if this was such a high profile case, people would be scared to go to the gym. But I will say people at LA Fitness, they really didn't want George Sedini to take that away because they were a big family there. They were a big community there. This is a case of an extremely lonely man. He did begin to hate women. I mean, he was a creep. Definitely. You can definitely feel the creepy vibes when he's, like, look out the window. I don't know. I was unsettled when he was like, you can look at the view, But of course, I just could be just a little neurotic and paranoid. But a lot of women are. But it's devastating because he wanted someone to stop him. And if you're waiting for, well, okay, Catie, well, how about his family life? I know we're going to go back there. We don't really know anything. The only thing we know is that he said his father was a worthless sperm donor. Cute, nice. And his mother was domineering and pretty rude and evil. She was like the boss of all bosses. His brother was like a bully, and his sister didn't really talk about that. There was some kind of a falling out between them. And you can tell between the blog posts that when he was talking to the family and then when he wasn't talking to the family. In fact, before he began shooting in the gym, there actually was a time where he chickened out. He literally went and then he chickened out. I know. He literally chickened out. I mean, I can't imagine those people that were there and they were so close to be, gone that day. But then he didn't chicken out this time on a Tuesday on a Latin class. I don't understand why that matters. He had it circled on his calendar too, so he had this planned. And even on the blog, you guys, he literally has it planned. You actually see what he's going to do. Yeah, it's insane. Now the brother. Now, I don't know the brother, and I know you're still alive, so don't come after me. He seemed like the older brother that did have the confidence. And when he found out that George liked a girl in high school or something, the brother would go after her. I don't know why siblings do this, but sometimes they do. Well, that really hurt George. And his last girlfriend was 1984. Her name was Pam. And he said the last time he had sex was 1990. So he killed people in 2009. That's a long time for no physical affection. And he had all this money, so you can pay for sex. I mean, you can. He could have flown to Vegas and had fun at the bunny ranch. I don't know. I think that he just was so, lost. And it's worse than sadness. It's worse than depression. And I feel it's very important for people to talk about this because this really could have been prevented. And the black pill community, George is their hero because there literally are people, you guys, that believe this. Believe that there are men that are so ugly and so unfortunate looking. They don't have enough money. They don't wear the right clothes. They'll never make a woman happy and they'll never find happiness. That is pure nihilism, and that is called black pill. And if you guys feel that way, if I am resonating with anyone, please know that I totally love you, and I'm not afraid to say it. If people can hate for no reason, I can love for no reason. And you're welcome to DM me. I know people need friends. I know people need communication. And I'm always offering friendships. I know how it is to be alone. But I want to let you know that if you like somebody and they don't like you back, why the hell would you want to be with someone who doesn't like you? I mean, for real, though. I believe there is someone out there for everyone. Call me a hopeless romantic. I do. I really do. I found the love of my life, and by being myself too. Absolutely, authentically, silly, crazy, wild, morbid Catie. Okay? And I found the love of my life. So I know there are people out there for other people. And if you truly don't believe that, get off the internet, go outside, feel the sunshine in your face. If you are religious or spiritual, go to church. Go to a church Okay? Be around people that believe what you believe, that is not detrimental to your health, and that does not hurt other people. Hopefully. Yeah, that's exactly. I went on like a tangent there. But not really, because the black pill community is a real thing. They're saying that it's just Gen Z. I mean, it got really popular in like the 2000s. But my advice, I'm not a doctor, you guys, but I'm also a very happy person. And I do believe you can always improve in your life. And the glass is always half full. I'm that kind of person. I do like dark things. Perhaps it's because of the trauma that I endured. And I always will be healing in some kind of way. But I have come very, very far. So I'm just on here to say that you are loved, okay? And you are cherished. And I truly, I really, really mean that. Now, we're going to stop with the black pill talk, okay? And we're going to go to the 3 women that lost their lives. I think it's time, you guys, for a tea break. So I have a teacup. Well, it's not really a teacup. It's a mug per se. And it is a very old one. Like, my mother got it from Canada a long time ago. And it has a little polar bear animation. And if you guys don't know, I love bears. You know, I love bears. Yes, I do. This is blueberry. So, I love blueberries. I can have blueberries anytime. You know how they're like really healthy for you? I mean, blueberries are very, very healthy, so get on that. All right. Well, I'm going to be talking about the 3 women that lost their lives for absolutely no reason at all. So the first woman I'm going to be talking about is Heidi Overmeyer. She was age 46 years old before she lost her life. Now, Heidi, she was the baby of 5 children, so yes, that makes her the youngest. And she worked at an amusement park. Yeah. She was a very, very loving kind of person who would have done anything for anyone. Her love, or one of her loves that people knew about, was her son. She absolutely loved her son, Ian. And this becomes more tragic. Ian tragically lost his life in 2023 due to a motorcycle accident. Yeah, so that is very, very sad. I just hope that he's with his mom right now, because Ian took it extremely, extremely hard, which, I mean, I can't imagine, honestly. The next woman I'm going to talk about is Elizabeth Gannon. She was age 49 years old before she was brutally taken. She was another bright light, all right, in this community. She loved exercise. She was very active. She was known to be a very friendly person. She worked as an x-ray technician and a big, big people person. Like, her clients absolutely loved her. Well, patients, of course, because, you know, she's in nursing. Absolutely loved her, medical field. And it was brutal, you know, being gunned down out of nowhere, just like exercising, just trying to do what's good for your body. Blows my mind. The next woman I'm going to be talking about is Jody Billingsley. I guess I know a Billingsby, so I apologize. Billingsley. She was age 37 when her life was brutally taken. Again, a bright light as well in this community. She worked in the medical field, except she worked in the medical supply sales portion. So not per se the medical field, but she did work, you know, with medicine in some kind of way. So she loved working on her health. She was very fit, very active, loved bike rides and running. She too was absolutely loved by the community. Now, these 3 women, when I tell you, I mean, it's beyond scary when a man, like a psychopath, just turns off the lights, which again, it blows my mind. 15 seconds is a long time to just, I mean, what? Oh man, it's insane. But the lights were off and he just kept shooting. Now, I can't imagine how terrified they were. like, it must have happened really fast. I pray it happened really fast, but we don't know. I mean, there's not really, I mean, I tried to find research, you guys, that said where they were shot and, how long it took, and I couldn't find anything like that. I just saw that 3 women lost their lives.
Survivors and their supporters tonight.
Tonight's vigil began after a moment of silence at 8:15. The exact time, a week ago, the first 911 call was received from the LA Fitness Center. Tonight's service also honored the first responders who came to the scene of the killings, but mostly it was to remember the victims, Elizabeth Gannon, Jody Billingsley, and Heidi Overmeyer.
I worked for Heidi. She was my boss, but most of all, she was my friend. She was everything you've heard about her. She was a wonderful person.
The whole thing was just a tragedy, and trying to just cope as a community together and to be one again and to heal.
This man and his son were visiting from Chicago and wanted to be here.
Basically give our respects for the people that lost their lives here at the what I would consider a very unfortunate event that happened here in America.
One of the women wounded in the shootings, Lisa Fleer, was in attendance. She said she's doing well. Several members of the clergy offered prayers during the candlelight service, including Bishop David Zubik.
Where evil has divided and scattered us, may your love make us one again. Where evil has brought death, may your spirit bring new life.
Organizers hope that by tonight, remembering, mourning, and praying, they would begin the healing process that's necessary for this community. In Collier Township, John Greiner, Channel 4 Action.
Now, I also read that it was one of the survivors that were there. She actually bought 1,000 candles with her own money during, like, the memorial, the vigil, and over 500 people showed up. You had feminist groups, you had loved ones, families, friends, co-workers, etc. It was definitely a marvel to be looked at. So, again, sending positive healing energy to the loved ones that were involved in this horrific massacre. I know people thought a lot more people died, which thank goodness. No, I wish no one died that night. But he did take 3 women's lives and 11 people were injured. And I'm sure the 70 people in the gym are forever changed. And not just them, but the people that knew the 70 people who were at the gym that night, including the men. I don't think they were ever the same. Before this horrific accident, George sent his $250,000 of his estate because he knew he was going to die. He knew he did. I know some people argue with that, but when you read his blogs, he was going to die. That was it. He just didn't want to be alone. I will link the WikiLeaks. That's what has all the blogs. I will put that in the description below. If you want to read that, it's pretty wild. You see the beginning mind of a psychopath, and then you just see him like slowly just like, I don't know, I feel like just a really he spiraled, absolutely spiraled. Now, about his estate, right? $250,000. That's a lot of money. He wanted to donate his estate where he went to college, which was the University of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania. When the school learned about his actions, they were like, no. They denied it. Yes, they absolutely rejected that money. Yeah. I mean, I think it's, yeah. I don't blame them at all. Like, it's awful. So when you think about, like, being mean to people, because I know, bullying and cyberbullying is real and it's hard, and there are negative things about the internet. There really are, because people will tell you things that they will never tell you to your face. They're hidden behind a screen, okay? And all I say to those people is I send you love and healing energy, okay? Because hurt people do hurt people. Now, for the wonderful part of social media is also the networking, is also connecting with people. And, you just gotta treat people how you want to be treated. And please know, like, everything that you write down, if you ever want to find, like, a really good career or start your own business, people research on that, and they find out what you said about 10, 5, 15 years ago. So you should definitely watch what you say, because words do have power. They absolutely do. Now, I do have theories from Violet Turner right here. Now, here it is. Now, Violet thinks that he found himself at peace with whatever chaos was in the room. Now, how this answer came about, I was asking Violet, after he took his own life, he still had over 150 rounds of ammunition. Why did he stop? Thank goodness he stopped. Like, but I'm just curious, like, what was the, like, catalyst? Like, what made him stop? Now, she thinks it's because he felt peace. Now, I asked George, because he's a man, and I wanted his perspective. And he gave a little bit different of a perspective, which was interesting. His perspective was that, man, again, guys, we don't know, okay? These are just theories. But his perspective was that he felt the energy in that room and the screaming, and he just couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle any more chaos at the moment, so he just ended it. Very different kind of perspective. What kind of perspective do you think he had? Just curious. All right. And she said he wanted control out of this outcome. Like, he ultimately wanted control. I do kind of agree with you with that, because he seemed like to not have control in his life. But it's weird because you guys, he had a house. He had a really good career. People knew him. He was a recluse. He was very awkward. But people knew who he was. But not to the point where that he could sustain any kind of real relationship. Even like a true friendship. All right. He gave black status because, okay. So what she is trying to say here, because you know how I am. If you don't, I don't like to talk about race, because for me, why? Like, we all are one. We're all beautiful. I don't like to say black, white, Mexican, but unless I'm trying to find a culprit, I have to describe their ethnicity. Now, people said that, George was extremely racist and, like, hated women and all that. Well, yeah, perhaps, but the first blog, which I'm going to link, he capitalizes on the word Negro. Yeah. So I'm thinking, if he really didn't like this class of people, why would he capitalize the name? Right? So that's what me and Violet Turner were talking about, because, yes, he was clearly a sick individual. I wouldn't say he is an incel, because he did have sex. He had sex like maybe 50 to 75 times in his life. And I do know people that are older and they've never had sex before. I mean, I know it's like the 40-year-old virgin kind of thing. Now, that could be because of trauma. That could be because of self-esteem. And again, with that, just read the right books. Read self-development. Join, some kind of networking that you like. I love movies and, artists and avant-garde kind of subjects. So I go to those kind of groups and make friends. Doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm going off topic. So I believe she's right about that. I think that, he did say that, white women, like, went towards the black community, like, once you go black, you never go back kind of thing, it's stereotypical. I think that he just was really, really sad, and he just blamed whoever he could blame. He just could blame. Do I think he was extremely racist? I'm not sure, because the blog posts do come off as facetious. We're not entirely sure. Another thing, Violet thinks that he's not going to hell because Jesus died for all our sins. That is what he believed. Well, if you were raised Catholic, you still committed a mortal sin. So, yeah, in Catholicism, which, I was raised in a Roman Catholic family, and then I converted into non-denominational Christianity. I guess call me a Christian witch. I don't know. I say don't label me. I'm not a soup can. You know what I'm saying? But in Catholicism, if you take someone's life, you committed a mortal sin. You will never be accepted in the kingdom of Christ. So those were his views. Personally, if I think you take someone else's life just for the willy-nilly of it and not because of, I don't know, I'm going into controversial territory, excuse me. If it's like a self-preservation thing, I don't know. Anyway, I think just don't take anyone's life. Just don't do it. It's not even worth it. Don't even take your own. Like, there's a lot of help out there. Okay, Violet Turner. She wanted someone to stop him. Yes. Excuse me. He wanted someone to stop him. That's what she thinks. Yeah, I agree. When you read these posts, yes. I think he definitely wanted someone to read the post and someone stop him. And what's really sad is nobody did. Like, nobody at all. And I think that his blog represented who he was, which was sad. Isolated, not welcomed, and not noticed. I don't know. His ideas were skewed because of media, because of movies. Yes, he found them boring. He found them not fun, because, the guy always gets the girl or vice versa. I do agree with you. I think the media sometimes does skew our perceptions in a lot of things, especially love, relationships. I grew up on Disney, but now I know that, Beauty and the Beast was Stockholm Syndrome. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. Violet Turner says that his upbringing was probably harsh, mostly mental abuse. Yeah, I agree. Definitely. I definitely agree with that. Thank you so much, Violet. I really appreciate you, us talking and sending your notes. It means a lot. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time, Violet. Thank you very much, guys, for listening and also watching if you are. I really appreciate it. Now let's go to a happy subject. But before we do that, please don't be trolls on the internet. Please know that your words have power. And if you are hurting, I send you positive energy. On a happy talk, guys, I'm going to talk about candles. Yes, you're like, I've seen it on your TikTok. I've seen it on your Instagram. Talk about those candles. I got you, boo-boo. I got you. But this girl named Nadia, she runs her own company called Solemn Society. Yeah, you like that? I do too. I think it's very clever. So I'm going to do a little hint of why she names the candles the way she does. They smell amazing, by the way, and they look really, really cool. Okay, so these are some of the fragrances or the name of the candles. New Orleans, 1791. Greece, 1771. Vamp. Yes, if you guessed Anne Rice, ding, 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 we've got a winner. Absolutely. So she loves the Anne Rice and Immortal universe, which I am all about that. You guys have your Marvel universe, you have your DC universe. I love the Immortal universe with Anne Rice and all the good times. Okay, now, the candle that I have been lighting and just having positive energy is this beautiful green one. And I'm going to show you the lid. Look how pretty that is. This reminds me of 1920s Great Gatsby. I absolutely am obsessed. Absolutely am obsessed. So let me read. It just smells like heaven. It is so awesome. So the green one, the candle opens with bergamot, orange, evolving to floral notes of jasmine, violets, and geraniums, closing with a hint of patchouli and amber. Yeah, sounds fancy. It smells fancy, and it's really, really nice. George has burned a lot of the candles already because as soon as I found Nadia and I smelled a few of her candles, I'm like, I want all of them. They all need to be in all the rooms. But I want to let you know, do not burn the candles more than 4 hours, okay? Because I'm going to show you something else she created. It is made out of cement. And if you're wondering, is it that skull back there? Is it that? Yes, it is. Let me show you. She did this herself. It is a double skull with like beautiful gold accents. Oh my gosh. I couldn't just get one, you guys. I had to get this one. And I had to get this gorgeous brownish reddish one with the gold accents. Look at that. Is that amazing? Yeah, as you can see, I burned the candle all the way down. I'm obsessed. I absolutely love it. And if you're wondering, okay, well, what other fragrances does she have? Another fragrance she has is Grease. And that is a bold whirl of pink peppercorn and clove, settling down to notes of amber, suede, violets, ending with hints of orris root and tobacco. Yes, it's actually really nice. I contacted her and I was like, girl, where are the fragrances? I need this in a perfume. I think George wants one of these in a cologne. And then Vamp. I know I said Vamp. Okay, so Vamp is this one, like, I burnt this one right away. It is the fragrance opens with orange and lemon, trailing off to lavender and elemi. Hopefully I'm saying that right. It closes with notes of warm tobacco with amber vanilla. Oh, yes. It is magical. You guys should definitely check her out. I have quite a few. I have the New Orleans and I have Grease. Look at that pretty blue. Look at that. I love like a pretty periwinkle blue. It's perfect for the season, spring going into summer. And if you guys want to check her out, definitely check out her Instagram. It's at Solemn Society. I will have the link in the description below. So I appreciate you, and I love indie and merchants that work really hard on something they truly believe in, and it's great. So definitely check her out, guys. I appreciate it. That is it for now, my true crime kitty cats. I appreciate you guys being here. If there is a story or dark content that you want me to cover, definitely leave in the comments below. Contact me on Instagram. Emails, for some reason, it keeps going into spam, and it's really annoying because I've missed quite a few of you guys, your emails, and I'm like, why is it in spam? It doesn't even look like it's spammy. It's just people that had suggestions. But find me on Instagram, guys, at Catie Brannon, and DM me, and I appreciate your support. It means a lot. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok. Please know that you are loved and you are cherished. And if you want more Tea Time True Crime with Catie, just click right over here. There is a whole bunch of videos, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye. Oh yeah, and remember, you are doing better than you think. Bye.